Alright everyone, what is up here today YouTube? Jigsaw0097. This is the other video I was going to make today. This one has to do with Skip Bayless. This actually was a couple days ago. But, you know, I was just watching the video yesterday. I guess I missed it. About how Skip Bayless was saying that the Eagles are the most overrated team in football. You know, and this kind of fully reiterates, guys, that I'm slowly becoming a Shannon Sharpe fan, because I don't know if he really cares about the Eagles, but you know, I look at it from his perspective. If I had to sit in that freaking debate room every day with Skip the moron Bayless and talk about the Dallas Cowboys, you know, I would become an Eagles fan just off of that alone. At least another NFC East team fan, just so that I could shut him the hell up. Because as you guys know, Skip Bayless says some of the stupidest things imaginable, because he's just the biggest Cowboys cheerleader that you'll ever see, and it's almost gagging how bad it is, because he's completely unable to look at the league objectively. He's completely unable to look past his love for Jerry Jones, you know, Jason Garrett, all them. He basically just sniffs his own farts on live TV. That's Skip Bayless. And this might be one of the worst things the worst rants he's ever gone on, because he's completely discounting the fact that the Eagles, in fact, do have the most talented roster in football, guys. If you watched my video I just made now about Jadeveon Clowney, that is like the one weakness of the team, is that we don't really have linebacker depth as much as I'd like. But that's like it, guys. This team really is that stacked. I've looked at it from like beginning to top. There's so many key positions now that are already filled. You know, the D-line is completely stacked. You lose a guy like Chris Long, but you bring in a guy like Malik Jackson. You know, it's stuff like that. There's a rumor that they might bring back Connor Barwin, so that easily could fill the role of Chris Long in the veteran, you know, leadership. There's basically so many moves that the Eagles have made and still could make. If you saw the Jadeveon Clowney video, you know, that's a rumor right now that they might be trying to bring that guy in. So when he says that they're overrated, I don't want to hear it. And then he also brings up the point that they overpaid Carson Wentz, which, you know, I've had lots of time to think about this, guys. As you guys know, I was very upset about them letting Nick Foles go and paying Carson Wentz, but you know what? I'm really on board with Wentz now, and I'm going to fully support the kid until he does something really bad, which in my opinion, he probably won't. It'll just be that if something bad happens, it'll be injury related. But if you also look at the league, so they paid him $108 million guaranteed. The Eagles saved money on this trade, or on this deal, because every single year there's like a new highest paid player, and also the salary cap increases every year. So $108 million in 2019 is not going to be $108 million in 2020. Like the money value goes down significantly, and we have Carson Wentz locked up for like 4 years. So I can see, you know, Howie Roseman is the wizard. That's what I call him. And you know, if he thought it was a good deal, I gotta go along with the guy, because he's made very, very few mistakes. Chip Kelly was the one making those mistakes, and you know, he's cleaned this up. We won a Super Bowl in 2 years' time from Chip Kelly. You know, I'm gonna stick with the guy. So Skip Bayless is dead wrong there, and also you didn't even pay your quarterback, Skip Bayless. So you got a guy in Dak Prescott who's unhappy being in Dallas. Then you got a guy in Ezekiel Elliott who's going through all sorts of law trouble right now. You know, he got his name cleared, but then the security guards sued him, so he's still got this crap going on. This seems to be like every single year for the Cowboys. And then he also isn't happy with his contract, and the Cowboys don't want to pay him. So you got two franchise players that you are unhappy with. Now, I get that you have Amari Cooper and you have Randall Cobb now, which that's going to be deadly, I'll give you that. But if you can't make your running back happy, and, you know, he might decide to pull a Le'Veon Bell somewhere down the road, you know, that's just not good for the Cowboys. And that's kind of what Shannon said, and I agree. There's massive dysfunction going on in the Cowboys right now that is completely not present in the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are ready to go, guys. They have one thing in mind, and that is the championship. That's all they care about. And there are people like Deshaun Jackson, you know, that came to this place again because of Carson Wentz, because of the mentality of Doug Peterson's coaching staff and this team going forward. And so when he says that they overpay players or like the Cowboys are in a better position, like, I just don't want to hear it. And then the last point that he makes, he just keeps bringing this up, and it's driving me mad now. He keeps talking about how they beat the Eagles twice last year. It's like, I want to play the smallest violin for him when he says that. It's like, you act like beating the Eagles twice means you won a Super Bowl or something, Skip. Is that really how pathetic your franchise is, that you have to hold that over the head of the Philadelphia Eagles, that you beat them twice in 2018? And one of those games, by the way, was highly suspect, as you guys know. Not a clear recovery. One of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. Had the Cowboys not got that call, they would have lost the game for sure. Because the Eagles had the ball down at their freaking, like, 20-yard line. That would have been an easy touchdown. So, and then also the Zach Ertz holding, whatever, offensive pass interference call. That was another stupid one. Because, you know, or not Zach Ertz, it was Dallas Goedert, actually. Dallas Goedert literally bowled his way into the end zone, and they called it back. So, it would have never been an overtime game. We would have never had to see my boy Rasul tip that ball in the air and have it get picked off. But, so congratulations, Skip. You beat the Eagles twice. Big deal. In 2018. Again, this is the Now Football League. That's what the NFL stands for. The Now Football League. What have you done for me lately, okay? It's like the Eagles won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but no one cares. Unless you're an Eagles fan, no one cares anymore. Because you move on in the NFL. Where it's now 2019. We're looking at the talent on the rosters right now. At this second. And at this second, the Eagles have a better shot of beating the Cowboys twice in 2019. So when the Eagles beat the Cowboys twice, 2019, Chip, what are you going to say? You're going to just say, oh, we beat them in 2018. So the Cowboys are still better. Yeah, right. So he keeps bringing that up. That's like his number one point. He keeps bringing up that they beat us last year twice, which, again, the team also looked so much different. You had a team in Carson Wentz who was very just not there last year. He still put up elite numbers if you look at his playing. But last year it was a complete team implosion. And there was a Super Bowl drought. That's another thing. Your team doesn't have a Super Bowl, Chip, so you don't have a drought to go through. You didn't have a drought to go through. And even with that drought, the Eagles still managed to get their butts in the playoffs. And had Alshon Jeffrey not dropped that key pass against the New Orleans Saints, we might be talking about the Eagles going back-to-back Super Bowls, which is something the Seahawks almost did but didn't do. So if we're going to talk about who's the most elite team over the past even 2 years, Skip, the Eagles have you beat in every category. You lost to the Rams in the playoffs. We've beat them twice, and we would have definitely beat them in the NFC Championship. I can guarantee you that. So, overall, what am I trying to say here? If you're an Eagles fan and you're watching Undisputed and you're listening to these analysts or like people like Skip Bayless or Nick Wright over with Chris Carter, you know, these guys are Eagles haters. They have no clue what they're talking about. I try to be as unbiased as possible, guys, but I'm being real here. The Eagles are the most stacked team in the league. The only team in the NFC that I can see that's even close to them right now is the Bears. And I think I've already said that in a previous video. That's my prediction for the NFC Championship in 2019. It's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Chicago Bears. Those are the most elite teams in the NFC right now. They have the most talent across the board. And the Eagles were even ranked number 3 by Pro Football Focus or whatever it was, the NFL. One of those studies, they ranked them number 3, which in my opinion is still low, but it's like even the league can't deny that they're a top 5 team in 2019. They're putting the Cowboys there as well, but I just think that that's for you know, clicks, views, whatever, because Dallas is America's team. I'm not saying Dallas is bad this year either. I'm just saying they're probably in the top 10. They're not even close to the Eagles, though. There's so many teams that are above them still. The Rams are above them. The Saints are above them. I'd put the Falcons above them. The Vikings are above them, you know. Like, there's too many teams, and that's because For one, you have a quarterback that is similar to Tony Romo in Dak Prescott. He never should be the starter. He never should have been this. He's being overhyped to all hell because he had that 1 year. He had 1 year where he did really good, but guess what, guys? In the past 10 playoff appearances, the past 10 number 1 seeds, the Dallas Cowboys are the only team to lose at home. You know why that is, guys? Because they never belonged in the playoffs in the first place. They just took the league by storm. They had a fluky year. You know, it was all brought down to earth. They've been getting back to the playoffs, but as you guys can see, they're not doing anything in the playoffs, and that is because they are limited by their quarterback. Ezekiel Elliott is elite, but the Cowboys don't respect that, so they're not going to pay him, and so now they've got that to deal with. So that's the Cowboys' problem, guys, and if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you, but their quarterback situation is a serious concern. The Eagles' quarterback situation is not a serious concern. So there you have it, guys. That's my thoughts on this. Skip Bayless, complete moron as usual. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFL in 2019, undisputed. So whatever you guys think, comment down below. I'd like to hear from you. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, as I will be covering the Eagles and the NFL all season long. But to all my returning viewers, thank you so much for watching. This has been Jigsaw097. I will talk to you all later.